Hey friends. All right, today is going to be super fast. I want to give you an identity hack that will help you feel clear, empowered, confident in seconds, in less than a minute. And because our identity are connected to our belief system, to the way we think, and to our body, to the way we feel, when you do this simple hack, you will actually shift yourself somatically, like you'll shift your biochemistry, you'll rewire your nervous system to feel and move and make decisions in life in a different way, and you will shift how you think and what you perceive. In some ways, we're a little bit like people who have multiple personalities. Like they've researched that people who have diagnostic multiple personalities, like literally their body changes, like sometimes to the degree that like if you do blood work between two different personality, you will have completely different results. Like you're doing blood work on two different people. There's been some crazy cases where even like eye color and things that should not be able to change will shift. And so to some degree, we are a little bit like that, but at a much lower level, right? We all have aspects and parts of us that literally take the lead throughout our lives. And what this little hack is about making sure that the right version of you, the right identity, is actually getting in the driver's seat when it matters, when you're trying to figure something out, when you're trying to make a decision, when you are going to a gathering of people, when you're stepping on a stage, when you are designing an offer, or you're designing your marketing, or you're getting on live, or you're getting on a sales call. Like you want the right version of you to take the lead during these circumstances, especially, or even if you're about to have an important conversation with your significant other, or with your child, or you're going to a job interview, or you're about to make decisions on how to invest your money. Like it really doesn't matter where or how. Essentially, creating a really successful life on all levels, a very wealthy life on all levels, is about making sure that the right version of us, the right identity, is actually leading the show. So you don't want essentially your wounded 4-year-old to be in the driver's seat. You want your sovereign, clear, confident, empowered self to be in the driver's seat. One of the things, if you've watched some of my videos in the past, that I will say is you can't put 50K you in a 500K reality, or 6-figure you in a 7-figure reality, because literally you don't have the identity, you don't have the capacity to hold it. And so what I'm going to invite you to do today is to find within you an identity that you want to call on when you are needing. Actually, I don't know that you even want to call on it when you're needing some leadership or some sovereignty. Essentially, I want you to figure out, who is it that I want to be? And I want to be her or him, basically in every area of my life. And the big idea behind this little hack is that when you name something, you give it a name. And I don't mean like you're going to call this part of you an actual name, like Richard or Vivian or something, like nothing like that. I'm going to tell you what I mean. But when you name something, you essentially give both your brain and your body a point of reference, a point of access, so that you can come back to that version of you with ease. It's almost like that pin drop on your GPS. It's a marker. It's an anchor that you get to use. So I'm going to give you an example of my own personal life. So this came because I was trying to figure something out, a point of friction in my business. And what I like to do this every day. I have at this point for almost 6 months. It was one of my kind of leadership shift for me. I take long walks every day. When I say long, if I have a really busy day, it might be half an hour. But if I have the spaciousness, it might be an hour and a half. And I'm walking and I'm trying to figure this out. And I realized in that moment that I was caught up in my head, and that the part of me that was trying to figure out the answer to this problem was some part of me that was already confused, didn't feel ready, didn't feel enough, was frustrated. And if you've watched any of my video, you know that we cannot create expansion from contraction. Or Einstein said it beautifully, you cannot find a solution to a problem from the same level of thinking that created the problem. Same thing, like you cannot expand your life, scale your business. You cannot find an innovative, transformative solution by trying to move from a paradigm of lack or scarcity. And so as I'm walking and I'm realizing this, suddenly I kind of stopped, I interrupted my thinking, and I said to myself, what would the one who knows do about this? What does the one who knows feel about this? And right when I got back from my walk, I actually recorded an entire training for my clients around this, because I hadn't really quite realized that I actually have an anchor. I have a name for the part of me that I want leading my business. And then I start thinking about that. And I start thinking about how I actually have two. So I'm going to give them to you. I have the one who knows. And when I say the one who knows, I feel her in my body. She feels centered. She feels strong. She feels solid. She feels clear. She feels empowered. Like nothing could shake her. Nothing could topple her. Nothing could wobble her out of her own knowing. And then I have another one that I call on sometimes, that I play with. And for those, I'm going to use a curse word, so just so you're aware if there's little ones around. But the one who is free and doesn't give a fuck. And see, like I have that little smile. The moment I say that, I can feel her. And they have two very different energies. The one who knows is very sovereign. Like you see that position, like there's even a posture that goes with it. Like she has a kind of like groundedness to her. The one who is free and doesn't give a fuck is mischievous. She's playful. She's curious. She's courageous and brave, but in a completely different way. But what I want you to understand from what I'm saying, what I want you to get, is that both of those parts live within me, and me naming them and me being able to say, I wonder what the one who knows would do about this, would say about this. I wonder what the one who's so free she doesn't give a fuck would do about this, would say about this. I can call on them. And the moment I call on them, I shift who I am. Literally in seconds, I feel an internal shift. I use the question to essentially pivot myself out of maybe a more contracted identity, a contracted part, and I use the name to actually locate that part of me in my body, the felt sense of that part of me. And I can see right away that I breathe easier, I feel calmer, I feel clearer, even if I don't have any solution yet. I can take a couple breaths and I can be her now. And then I look at wherever I'm at in my life, I look through that part's eyes. And so the invitation here is for you to feel and think about a version of you, like when you know, when you feel certain, when you feel empowered. And give that part of you a name and make that name a quality of being or a quality of moving, like the one who knows, the one who's fearless, the one who doesn't give a fuck, the one who makes $1 million deals. Like, and the invitation here is, and this is the hack, because once you say that name, the one who ... within seconds, you should feel a shift inside you, almost like you're stepping into that version of you. Almost like by saying that name, you literally, it's almost like saying your partner's name and you call them and they turn towards you. That's what happened internally. It's like you say that part's name, that version of you, that identity. You say his or her name, you call on them, and they turn towards you. And then you step into them and you look through their eyes. And so how you know that you have the right name, and you might play with that until you have the right one, is when you say that, you should know exactly who you are. And there should be an emotional as well as a perspective, a mental shift. And essentially what you're doing is you're using a name to shift your nervous system and your biochemistry. You're re-anchoring your position, essentially. You're choosing a different leadership identity. Now, here's the second part of this little hack. Once you have that name, that version of you, then I want to invite you to start using it all the time. It's not just when you're stuck or confused, or when you're about to have a scary conversation, either with a client or on a sales call or with your partner, or you're about to step on a big stage or whatever, like, or go to a big meeting and with potential partners or something. Like, I want you to start using that in your day-to-day. Go to a restaurant, notice what you would choose, and then ask yourself, what would the one who ... choose for a meal? Like, notice what you're about to wear, and then pause and say, what would the one who ... want to wear today? What would the one who ... want to say or respond or do today? And start to really move and live your life from a different frame of perspective, a different position. Because when you do that, not only are you going to get the benefit of that shift of nervous system, that shift of biochemistry, that internal emotional set point shift, but you're going to be able to start to actually move through your life and relate to your life and your business and the people in your life from that perspective, which will then shift the response that you receive. Over time, when you do this, so today is really about shifting your identity and getting empowered and confident and clear in like less than a minute, which I've showed you how to do. But the true value of this is that over time, it has a profound ripple in who you are being, how you are leading, what you are doing, and how much you get to receive. It literally shifts your whole like point of reference. It rewires your brain, your nervous system, your biochemistry, your identity, and you will start to associate who you are, your true self, as that version of you. And you'll be able to come back to him or her faster and faster. And you'll be able to stay there and remain there and anchor yourself there and move from there more and more. It'll become easier and easier to be them and to move as them and to create essentially the reality and the results that go with them. Like when I'm moving from the part of me that feels not quite enough or is frustrated or feels wobbly, I get to create results and reality that are in resonance and coherence and alignment with that wobbliness, with that not enoughness, which is why I say you cannot create expansion from contraction. If my state, my frame of reference is contracted and constricted, my results and my reality will match that. They will be contracted and constricted. But if I'm moving, making decisions, showing up from a point of reference that is in expansion, and I'm taking action from expansion, then my results and my reality will reflect that expansion. How I'm received by others will reflect and mirror that expansion. So if you want a very expansive, freeing, abundant reality and results, then you have to make sure that the version of you who is moving through your life and making decision is a mirror of that, is itself feeling expansive, abundant, alive. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. So this was today's mini training. I didn't even introduce myself. I'm going to assume you know who I am. It would be my great honor to put at this point, 25 years, almost 25 years, not quite, 23 years of experience as a psychotherapist, an expansion expert, a strategist, a healer to work for you. So if you're ready to revolutionize your leadership and your receivership, then you have to work with me. And I don't mean you have to work with me in 90 days when it's the beginning of the year. Imagine where you could be in 90 days if you started doing this work, rewiring yourself for the results and the reality you want now. This is why you have to do this work now. This is why you have to work with me now, not when you're going to be ready. Like the one who knows in you, the one who is free and doesn't give a fuck in you, they are ready now. They're not ready in 6 months from now or 3 months from now. They feel ready now. And the reason you want to do this work is because your business will never outperform your wiring. How well your strategy works for you, how much money you're able to make and able to allow yourself to receive and to hold is in big part determined by your neurology and your identity. So you can be doing all the things and wondering why it's not working because you're doing them all from the wrong neurology and the wrong identity. So my work, the way I work with people, my MagicMind, my program is not a how-to program that's filled with tactics and frameworks that more than likely will never fit you or work for you. My work, my body of work is a true blueprint on how to move, expand, and scale in your life, in your business, in complete resonance and in deep partnership with the wisdom of your body and your deeper knowing. It's not magic. It's actually neuroscience, although sometimes it works like magic and it feels like magic. So what you can expect in working with me, you can expect to upgrade who you are being and how you are leading both yourself and others. You can expect to dissolve the limitation patterns that have quietly in the background limited and capped your impact and your income. You can expect to reprogram the fundamental operating system that is running everything from behind a curtain and learn to maintain, to like anchor and maintain that new identity and reality seamlessly. And you can expect to become calibrated, to become a match to the vision, the life, and the business that you are desiring and you are in the process of creating so that you can get there with significantly more ease and more speed. And then from a more strategic perspective, if you're a business owner, you can expect to essentially resolve and remove all the complexity that you have added to your business model and design a business offers, marketing, pricing that are in complete coherence. They're in coherence to each other, like from you to your messaging, to your offer, to your delivery, to your pricing, but they're also in complete coherence with who you are and the vision you have for yourself and for your work. Success in business should never be a trade-off. It should never be a sacrifice. There is no need for you to sacrifice your soul and what matters more for strategy. When everything in your business feels simple, feels satisfying, feels nourishing, that's when executing, showing up becomes easeful, and that's when results starts to flow. So ultimately, in working with me, you will transform the trajectory of your life, of your business, and of your wealth from the inside out. And it will be both a reformatting internally, but as you reformat internally, we will reformat everything externally so that everything is smooth. And you can get to where you want to go significantly more effortlessly. So if you're interested in finding out more about this and going deeper with me, then check the description of this video. I put in a way to go a little deeper that's totally free. That's my Wired for Wealth mini course. It comes with a deep dive training and 3 or 4 practices so that you can start to feel some of the effect of this work. And then if you're ready to work together, you can click the link that is the website /call, and then you're going to find a couple different ways to work together. One is kind of short-term, in-depth, and quite affordable financially. That's my 90-minute Wired for Wealth intensive, where we meet one-on-one and we start this work, and you walk away with kind of a blueprint on how to get yourself out of contraction and into expansion over and over and over. Or you'll also find an entire description of the Wired for Wealth Somatic MagicMind, where we go through a deep dive journey of rewiring you and your business for easeful growth and joy-filled wealth. All right, guys, that's it. I hope this mini training was helpful to you. In the comments, tell me, how did you decide to call that part? The one who ... Let me know what came up for you. I'd be curious to hear. All right.